Today we're going to be taking a look at a rather small species of mammal here in the UK. This is actually the water shrew that we have in this little fish tank. We are currently staying in a lodge in Devon, and basically my dad had set up his moth trap and a water shrew accidentally became caught in it during the night. To cause it minimal distress, I temporarily moved it into a fish tank that I was actually using to go pond dipping to catch various different animals in the local pond and river. Shrews possess the highest metabolic rate of any mammal, requiring them to consume between 80 to 100% of their body weight in food daily to fuel their extreme energy demands. They can notoriously starve to death in just a few hours without a steady supply of prey. Because I didn't know how long it had already been trapped, it was imperative that I fed it straight away. Furthermore, water shrews have an incredibly fast average heart rate of 887 beats per minute, making them highly susceptible to fatal heart attacks from shock. We were extremely careful with the shrew, providing food immediately to distract and calm it. And yeah, this is a little water shrew. Now there is actually a river that is right behind us. That is probably where he was scurrying about. I have gone around the garden and I've actually put a bunch of worms as well as slugs in here so he can eat them. And I've also put a bit of banana, and he has pretty much decimated all of the worms within this tank. However, he hasn't really touched the slugs much. All of the slugs have just gone to the roof, but the worms, there's pretty much just one or two left, and I put about 10 in here, so he has gone ham on those worms. Now the water shrew is actually the largest species of shrew within the UK, and like I was saying, it was likely just scurrying around within the river that is right behind us, but their typical habitats involve wetlands, streams, ponds, reed beds, etc., and it spends most of its time hunting invertebrates such as damselfly larvae, mayflies, etc., but as you just saw, he is also very fond of worms and slugs, and basically he'll just forage whatever he can get his hands on or his teeth on. Speaking of his teeth, this guy will actually pack a nasty bite, which is why I am not handling him for you guys, because A, it will cause it quite a lot of distress. I don't want to give it a heart attack, but furthermore, this guy is actually venomous. Yes, that is right. It's quite a unique species of mammal in the fact that it will inflict a poisonous bite. The venom in its saliva will actually subdue and even immobilize different frogs and small fish that I will sometimes try and eat. However, for the most part, it's pretty much harmless for humans, although if you do get bitten by one, it will leave a bit of a nasty rash, but you should be fine as long as you aren't allergic or something like that. But yeah, although its primary source of food is in fact small invertebrates, it will sometimes try and tackle much larger species. As I was saying, it will sometimes try and get frogs, newts and other amphibians, and it will even try and go after crustaceans such as snails and even small fish. Now, as you can see from this little guy up close, he has quite a dark back with a rather white or pale underbelly, and that is how you can easily identify this guy, because the common shrew has a much browner back. It's also a lot smaller. The pygmy shrew is also a lot smaller. It's also the only shrew species within the UK that is found near water, or likely to be found near water. So if you do see a shrew and you can't really identify what it is, if you are near a pond or a stream or a wetland, it's likely to be a water shrew. But yeah, I don't really want to cause this guy much distress, which is another reason as to why I am not handling it. However, we have given him a nice meal. He has eaten a lot more food than he would probably get a chance of eating just roaming around out here in the wild, as he has had quite the feast in here, absolutely destroying all of these worms. But I think it's about time to let this guy go, as we've kept him for about half an hour or so. So I'm actually going to go ahead and venture down to the river down there and just release him in his natural habitat close to where we found him. Okay, so I have the little fish tank and we're just going to make our way down to the river to let this guy go. Apologies if I look completely dead, but I've only just recently woken up, so it's actually just started raining and it's very moist out. There is quite a lot of fog up there, but yeah, I'm just making my way down to the river, and hopefully this guy will have a nice life, as we've just fed him an absolute feast. Okay, so I'm just going to let this guy go now. As you can see, I've taken off the lid because I couldn't do it properly with having the camera in my hand, and as you can see, all of the slugs have bunched up on the lid and the shrew is just down there, probably a bit frightened and cold, doesn't really know what's going on, but we're not going to try and cause this guy much harm. We're just going to let him go. He's had quite the feast. He's probably absolutely full to the brim. Now, if you're wondering why I'm wearing flip-flops, I was actually looking for snakes the other day, and I lifted up a massive boulder and I accidentally dropped it on my toe, so I'm kind of limping about the place, unfortunately. But yeah, let's just go ahead and let this guy go. Hopefully he will just scurry off and go on to enjoy the rest of his day, although it is raining and it is quite miserable. But then again, most of his prey comes out during this weather, although he's probably quite full since we did feed him quite a lot of food. Look at him, he's just absolutely filled to the brim with worms, and he's kind of struggling to walk right now because of how full he is. But let's see if he's actually going to go into the water so we can see him swimming, or if he's just going to scurry off to the side of the bank. I guess we will wait and see. Oh, there he goes. Okay, he's going off to this little side bit of the river, and now there's a bunch of different newts, palmate newt larvae within this, as we did find quite a lot earlier when we were pond dipping. But this guy seems to be completely okay with us here. I guess he's quite used to humans being around. But yeah, he doesn't seem to be making a getaway. If this was a mouse or something like that, it would be off in a flash. But he does not seem to be going away quick anytime soon. But he finally seems to be scurrying off to the bank. And yeah, he's just hiding under that leaf there. And I guess he's going to scurry off to wherever he belongs and wherever his home is. And there you go, he made it off to a burrow in a flash.